Thanks, Bill. All right, let's get started. So let's just settle into a nice, comfortable seated posture. And, you can have both feet flat on the floor, about a hip's width apart, and align your shoulders with your hips and your ears with your shoulders. And imagine your spine is this a beautiful string of pearls of light stretching from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. So just lengthen your spine, and feel the weight of your hands in your lap, the sits bones in the chair. And then, go to the crown of the head and release any tension in your scalp, in the forehead, the eyes, the nose, the cheeks, the area around your mouth. And relax the jaw and the throat, the back of the tongue, and the ears and the inner ear. Relax your temples, the back of the head, the neck, and allow your shoulders and shoulder blades to drop down. Relax the throat and the chest and the belly and all of your limbs. So just release any tension there. And then just be aware of any, sensations as you inhale and exhale. So I mean breath sensations, so the air as it flows in and out of the nostrils as your thoracic area expands and contracts, and the belly as it rises and falls. And then, many different sounds in your environment according to where you are. So, of course, now it's getting a little bit darker in the evening. So now this time of night, the birds are all kind of busy putting themselves to bed. It's all quite noisy. And then soon the crickets will start. So maybe at your place, there's different kinds of sounds. You might have people in your home, traffic outside, pets in your home. Maybe if you're on a farm, you can hear cows. I don't know. But just allowing all of those different sounds to be there, trying not to follow with the mind. And then just bring to mind, your own feelings this evening. How are you doing? What's going on in your life? What are you thinking about it? What stories do you have going? And try and put some space in between your thoughts so you don't feel so crowded or stressed. Take a breath. Be objective about what you're seeing in your mind. Trying not to follow the story. And then bringing to mind all the people of your life, your loved ones, your strangers, the ones you maybe aren't so fond of. And imagine that all these people are, these relationships are interchangeable due to impermanence, and they're all equal, these people. They all want to be happy, they don't want to suffer, and they all have this extraordinary capacity for a Buddha mind. So we think, we'll do this practice this evening for all these people of our life, and by extension, all the sentient beings. So we start by thinking there is no negativity that can't be purified, and this purification process is basically a psychological one. And we create negativity with our mind, so equally we can change it by creating positivity instead. And we start with this power of regret, and so sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all of our past lives. and think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general, regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma. We experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions, and having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. We cannot bear the thought of any future suffering that we might experience. And we know from our present suffering we don't want any more. So logically, it makes sense to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So we think like this: I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering, and also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And then think again, I'm sick of this suffering. And then think, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance, and we turn to the Buddha, who we see as a doctor who has these methods that we can use to purify. And we're not needing Buddha to forgive us. It's not like this kind of higher power we're going to rely on. We're purifying ourselves by relying upon his medicine. So you imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. You can also imagine this is the mind of your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. And he's made of this radiant, blissful light. And his eyes are long, they're shaped like lotus petals, and they're peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. And he has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. And his arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell, representing wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents the union of these two, and this symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. And so in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, the very beings we've harmed, and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of people you've harmed recently and in the past, and then in general, all beings we have ever harmed since beginningless time. And then remember those who have harmed you, and particularly have compassion for these ones because they're going to suffer as a result of the harm that they've done to you. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these beings, and think, I must purify for their sake. And then we come to the power of remedy, and this is the medicine doing the practice of purification. And we start with the body. And Vajrasattva, very compassionately, imagine, sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart, and it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, and it fills it completely until it pushes out through the lower orifices of the body all this kind of negativity you've done with your body to any living being in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sabasiti Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jita Meboa, Sitokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anarakta Meboa, Sawasiti Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jita Meboa, Sitokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anarakta Meboa, Sabasiti Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Savasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Savasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sabosidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Savasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think that there's no way you could do anything other than benefit others now with your body. And next is the purification of our speech, and Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and quite forcefully enters your crown and fills your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, and this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying and talking about people behind their backs and getting other people to agree with you. All of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as we recite the mantra again. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sabasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa, Sitokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anurakta Meboa, Sabasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa, Sitokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anurakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa, Sitokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anurakta Meboa, Sabasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa, Sitokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anurakta Meboa, Sabasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa, Sitokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anurakta Meboa, Sabasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa, Sitokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anorakta me boa sabasidi me piyatsa sawa kamasita me sitam triyam kuruhum ha ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajrama me mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva hum pe. So be so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything other than benefit others now with your speech, including yourself. And also this includes what you write. So, if you journal, maybe you read it, and, try and make it something that's, you're processing things, and also maybe something that's kind of beneficial for you as well. So next is the purification of our mind, and Vajrasattva now very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So it happens, this happens as instantly as when you turn on a light in a dark room. The light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, and all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, all your attachment, neediness, bitterness, anger, disappointments, grudges, all of this instantly dispelled, not one atom left as we recite the mantra again. Om Vajrasattva Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Savasidi Mipiyatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Hom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Savasidi Mipiyatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Hom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sabasidi Mipiyatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Hom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sabasidi Mipiyatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Hom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sabasidi Mipiyatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Hom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sabasidi Mipiyatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Hom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sabasidi Mipiyatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Hum Pe. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are completely purified. And imagine now there's no space in your heart for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. And next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. And this time imagine that Vajrasattva sends light and nectar, and it fills you completely and eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your consciousness. So you imagine the nectar pushing out all the negativities of the body, the nectar flowing up, pushing out all the negativities of the speech, and then the light coming and blasting all of your delusions And this happens kind of all at the same time. And in this way, you completely eradicate even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your mind as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sabasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kur Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jita meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anorakta meboa, sabasidi mimpi yata sawa kamasita me, sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan, sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya setva a hom pe. Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita, Jita meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anorakta meboa, sabasidi mimpi yata sawa kamasita me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Trida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sabasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sabasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Trida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sabasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drita meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anorakta meboa, sabasidi mimpi yata sawa kamasita me, sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. So now feel completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to enlightenment have been removed. And now we come to the power of resolve, and this is the fourth and final step in the purification process, and it's a really crucial one. This is this determination to refrain from harming with our body and our speech and our mind. And without this, we're just going to keep doing the same old stuff over and over again. So this determination, this aspiration, becomes like a beacon that guides our body and our speech and our mind in new directions. So rejoice in your efforts for coming along here and just, think about something you'd like to work on, some kind of habit that might be negative, or, creating some difficulty for yourself and for others. And, keep it, don't make a big deal of it, just kind of something to think about. And Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wants to merge with your mind and melts into light and absorbs into you through your crown, and you think, my teacher's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same. So next, Rinpoche recommends to meditate on emptiness. In emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma. And there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, place your mind there for a little while. We can think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. You can also think that the way things appear to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created doing this practice to all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. So let's just do our chanting the names of Manjushri for the swift discovery of precious Lamazo Rinpoche. Reveal to us the great name chanting of the wisdom body of the Blessed One, the great Usnisa. Oh, sorry, someone just sent me a text. I'll start again. Reveal to us the great name chanting of the wisdom body of the Blessed One, the great Usnisa, master of all speech, the self-arising wisdom emanation, the wisdom deity called Manjushri, these names with meaning both profound and vast, of great significance, unmatched, serene, with goodness at their start, middle, and end, proclaimed by Buddhas of the eons past and to be taught by Buddhas yet to come, and taught not once but time and time again by all the Buddhas of the present age. Okay, everybody, let's have a strong wish for His Holiness the Dalai Lama to live long, for the swift return of all of your own, so Lama Zopa Rinpoche's unmistaken reincarnation, and then for all of your own teachers to live long. All right, everyone. Thank you very much. Lots of love, and I'll see you, some of you, tomorrow morning. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye. Good night. Nice to see you all.